Ever wondered how people in the 21st century managed to live without modern plumbing, running water, or even those high-tech filtration systems? Well, the Amish have figured it out, and they've been thriving without the luxury of city water systems for centuries. No fancy technology, no government-run systems, just pure ingenuity. How do they do it? They've turned the most basic, natural elements into everything they need to survive and stay healthy. From wells to rainwater, and their own custom purification techniques. Stick around as we unravel the amazing, surprisingly simple ways the Amish provide clean, drinkable water for their communities. You won't believe how they do it. Okay, let's get right to it. When you think of the Amish, what comes to mind? Horse-drawn buggies? Handcrafted furniture? Probably not. How do they get clean water? Well, here's the crazy part. They don't rely on municipal water systems like the rest of us. No high-tech water filtration or city pipes bring them water 24/7. Instead, they make it work with what the land offers. And trust me, their methods are not only incredibly resourceful, but they also bring about a deeper connection to nature, the community, and, believe it or not, the past. So let's dive in and see how they turn what we'd call primitive into the blueprint for sustainable living. Oh, and this process is surprisingly effective. So keep watching to find out how you could incorporate some of this old-school wisdom into your own life. Number 1. Deep wells. Nature's underground water supply. First stop, deep wells. The Amish are true experts when it comes to drawing water straight from underground. Now, we live in a world where modern infrastructure handles the heavy lifting of getting water to our taps. We turn a knob, and voila! Clean water flows without us giving it much thought. But the Amish? Well, they're not relying on fancy waterworks or city pipes. They go straight to the source, the pure aquifers buried beneath the Earth's surface. Picture this. You're in a small Amish community. Everyone's gathered together, with tools in hand, gearing up for a big task, digging a well. It's a far cry from the convenience of flipping a modern switch or turning a knob. These wells don't just sit in a backyard like a small, shallow garden well. No. The Amish dig wells that go deep, sometimes reaching hundreds of feet below the Earth's surface, tapping into reliable and naturally purified water stored in underground aquifers. But don't imagine it as a quick and easy task. There's no bulldozer or electric drill to make things go faster. Instead, Amish communities use traditional methods that involve a lot of hard work and collective effort. For starters, horse-drawn equipment is often utilized to help carry tools, hoist heavy materials, and even lower people into the hole. These are not your average backyard DIY projects. This is old-school teamwork. Now imagine the scene. A group of people working together in sync. One person might be operating a hand-powered pump to help remove dirt, while another is holding the reins of the horses, guiding them to pull equipment up and down the well. It's not just about the physical labor. It's about community cohesion. While one person is focused on digging, another might be working with others to ensure everyone stays safe, the tools are working well, and the process is progressing. It's like a well-oiled machine, except the oil is sweat, and the machine is made of people. The whole process can take several weeks or even months, depending on the depth of the well and the soil conditions. But every bit of effort pays off, and in the end, the community has access to fresh, clean water from beneath their feet. These deep wells are often dug by hand, using simple but effective tools like pickaxes, shovels, and digging bars. While modern technology might have made these tasks a whole lot easier, the Amish stick to tried-and-true methods. After the well is dug, casing, usually made from steel or wood, is lowered into the well to ensure the walls don't collapse, and the water remains clean. A pump is typically installed to draw water from the depths, often operated by hand, foot, or even a horse. This is where the ingenuity comes in. They rely on what's available, adapting tools and techniques to suit their needs without the need for any external power source. The Amish don't just rely on these wells for drinking water. The wells supply water for daily tasks like cleaning, bathing, cooking, and even for their farm animals. A single well can provide for an entire family or community, depending on how it's maintained and how deep it goes. In fact, in some areas, wells might serve an entire neighborhood, with several families drawing water from the same source. This creates a shared bond, not just in terms of water, but in the sense of mutual care. It's a reminder that they're all connected, both by the land and by the work they do together. The Amish also understand something modern society tends to forget. Reliable water doesn't come from a faucet. It's a precious resource, one that requires effort to maintain and respect. Their deep wells tap into the Earth's water sources in a way that feels natural, sustainable, and most importantly, respectful of the environment around them. There's a sense of gratitude in their water collection, an appreciation for the Earth's generosity in providing this essential resource. And let's not forget the bigger picture here. They're doing it all without needing to plug into the grid, rely on modern infrastructure, or consume excessive amounts of energy. They thrive on simplicity and the belief that nature's systems, if respected, can provide everything we need to live. In the end, deep wells aren't just a practical solution. They're a testament to how far the Amish are willing to go to live in harmony with the Earth. They found a way to survive in a world that often values convenience over connection, showing that sometimes the simplest solutions are the most effective. The next time you turn on your tap, just think about what it takes to get that water to you. It might make you appreciate the Amish way of life just a little bit more. Number 2, the power of rainwater. All right, so you thought the Amish were just digging deep holes and calling it a day? No, they've got another trick up their sleeves: rainwater harvesting. That's right. While most of us rely on municipal water systems, the Amish know that nature is one of their most valuable resources. And when the heavens open up, they're ready. Instead of letting rainwater run off into the ground or down the street, they capture it and turn it into liquid gold. So how does it work? Well, when it rains, the Amish have a system set up to collect every drop. You can find gutters installed on the roofs of their homes, barns, and outbuildings. These gutters catch the water and funnel it directly into barrels, or large storage containers. It's a method that's been used for centuries, low-tech, but incredibly effective. What's amazing is how simple this setup is. The Amish use basic materials like wood, metal, and plastic barrels. These containers can vary in size, but no matter the size, they do the job of storing rainwater for when it's needed most. Think about it. Whenever it rains, they're essentially getting a free refill of the resource we so often take for granted. No complex systems, no endless bills to pay every month. It's just nature doing its thing, and the Amish are ready to catch it in their own backyard. But before you start thinking, wait, can't rainwater be dirty? Hold your horses. The Amish don't just drink the water straight from the barrel. No. They know that even though rainwater is often considered pure, it still requires a little help to make it drinkable. The Amish are all about purification, and this is where the magic happens. Filters come into play. The rainwater is first collected and stored in the barrels, but it's then carefully filtered to remove any dust, dirt, or debris that may have settled in the water. Simple filters, often made of sand, charcoal, or even cloth, are used to purify the rainwater before it's put to use. These filters act as a barrier that ensures the water is safe to drink and use for cooking, cleaning, or even bathing. It's a classic example of using nature's resources with a little extra care. Now you might be thinking, this is great, but how much water can they actually collect from the rain? Well, here's where it gets impressive. The Amish know exactly how much rainwater they can collect based on the size of their roofs and the amount of rainfall they receive. And in places where it rains often, that means a lot of water to rely on. A large roof can collect thousands of gallons of water during just a single rainstorm. Imagine that! Water that's been naturally filtered by the earth, ready to be used for all the essential things in life. But it's not just about the quantity, it's about sustainability. The Amish don't see rainwater as something to waste. They have a deep respect for the earth, and to them, every drop is precious. They understand the water is cyclical. It falls from the sky, filters into the ground, and replenishes the ecosystem. In this way, they've mastered the art of living in harmony with nature by catching the rain before it slips away and storing it to ensure their survival through dry spells. Here's the kicker. Rainwater harvesting is so simple. Anyone can do it. Whether you live in the city, suburbs, or the country, all it takes is a few gutters, some barrels, and a little know-how. And the best part? You'll never have to pay a water bill again. No more worrying about high utility costs or unreliable municipal systems. It's freedom, pure and simple. And as we all know, in today's world, that's a luxury in itself. Rainwater harvesting also teaches us a valuable lesson in respect for the environment. The Amish have a natural understanding of how to coexist with the earth, and by embracing the cycles of weather, they've tapped into a sustainable, low-impact way of life. They don't take a single drop for granted. And just think, if we all embrace the power of rainwater harvesting, we could reduce our reliance on municipal systems, cut down on our environmental footprints, and learn to appreciate the abundance that comes from nature's rhythms. It's a win-win for us and the planet. So the next time it rains, instead of grumbling about soggy weather, maybe we should take a moment to appreciate that the Amish are already ahead of the game, making the most of each and every rainstorm. Number 3, purification. Okay, so here's the thing. The Amish aren't just out there drinking whatever they pull from the ground or collect in a barrel. They've mastered the art of water purification using simple, natural methods that might just surprise you. They're not relying on fancy machinery or store-bought filters. Instead, they use resources that have been around for centuries. And guess what? These methods are often more effective than the complicated solutions we're used to today. Let's break it down and see what makes their system so special. First off, we've got to talk about sand filtration. You've probably heard of sand being used to filter water. It's one of the oldest methods out there. But for the Amish, it's still pure gold. Here's how it works. The Amish take the water and pour it through multiple layers of sand. Each layer serves as a barrier, catching larger particles, debris, and impurities that might be floating around in the water. The process is simple, but it's surprisingly effective. Sand has a natural ability to trap dirt, dust, and even some bacteria, ensuring that the water coming out is as clean as possible. Now, it might sound basic, but there's something incredibly efficient about using sand in this way. The Amish have been doing it for generations, and the results speak for themselves. It's a natural filter that doesn't require any complex equipment or fancy chemicals. It's just pure simplicity, and in this case, that's exactly what makes it so effective. Next up, we've got charcoal filters. But not just any charcoal, activated charcoal. Now, activated charcoal isn't your typical backyard charcoal for grilling. This type of charcoal is specifically designed to absorb all sorts of contaminants, including odors, toxins, and even harmful chemicals. For the Amish, this is the second layer of purification. After the sand filters out the larger particles, the charcoal works its magic, absorbing the finer impurities that could still be lurking in the water. What's fascinating about activated charcoal is its porous structure, which gives it an incredible ability to trap and hold on to contaminants. Think of it like a sponge that soaks up everything bad in the water while leaving the clean stuff behind. This natural purifier is effective at removing not just visible particles, but also microscopic pollutants, making the water that much safer to drink. And the best part? It doesn't require any artificial chemicals or high-tech machinery to work. The Amish combine this with their sand filtration systems for the ultimate natural water purifier. Lastly, let's talk about UV light. You might be thinking, UV light? Isn't that modern technology? And you'd be right. UV light is often used in today's water treatment systems to kill bacteria and pathogens. But here's the twist. The Amish aren't out there using electrical-powered UV systems. Instead, some Amish communities are harnessing the power of solar energy to power their UV light units. Yes, you heard that right. Solar-powered UV units that purify water without needing to rely on any grid-based electricity. These solar-powered units use sunlight to activate the UV light, which then sterilizes the water by killing harmful bacteria. It's a brilliant use of the sun, and it's a perfect example of how the Amish balance modern techniques with their traditional lifestyle. They're not plugged into the grid, but they're still able to use advanced purification methods thanks to the natural power of the sun. Talk about using nature to your advantage. What's truly awesome here is that these purification systems don't require complex, factory-made filters or complicated machinery. The Amish are doing what we might think of as primitive science, and honestly, it works. Their filtration methods rely on basic, natural materials that have been used for centuries, and yet, they still stand up to modern purification methods in terms of effectiveness. There's something satisfying about the simplicity of it all. By using sand, charcoal, and UV light, the Amish have developed a sustainable and reliable system for purifying their water. And the best part? They're doing it all without the need for energy-guzzling appliances, wasteful chemicals, or expensive systems that require constant maintenance. They figured out how to make their water clean and safe using only the things nature provides. Number 4. Nature's best-kept secrets, natural springs. While most of us might associate a spring with a mattress or the season when allergies attack, for the Amish, a spring is a prime source of drinkable water. These natural water sources have been flowing for centuries, offering clean, mineral-rich water straight from the earth. No pipes, no government, just pure, refreshing H2O. But what makes spring water so special? For starters, spring water is naturally filtered. As the water flows underground, it passes through layers of soil and rock. These layers act like natural filters, trapping impurities and leaving behind water that's clean and rich in minerals. Think of it like getting a free upgrade to mineral water, but without having to pay that extra charge at the store. The best part? When you drink water that's been chilled underground for who knows how long, you'll instantly feel like you've discovered some kind of life elixir. In many Amish communities, these springs are not just a luxury, they're a crucial part of daily life. You'd think that collecting water from a spring would be some sort of complex, drawn-out process, right? Well, not for the Amish. They've got it down to a simple science. Whether they tap into the spring directly with pipes or collect the water in stone basins where it naturally gathers, it's all part of their efficient and low-tech approach to living. Imagine how satisfying it must be to walk over to a spring, fill up a jug, and know you've just grabbed the freshest, purest water around. No filters, no purification process needed, just nature doing its thing. But the magic doesn't stop there. Spring water isn't just about being clean. It's about the minerals it contains. As the water moves through rocks, it picks up nutrients like calcium and magnesium, which are incredibly beneficial for the body. While the rest of us are spending money on supplements or fancy health drinks, the Amish are getting their daily dose of these essential minerals the old-fashioned way, straight from the water they drink. It's probably why you'll never spot an Amish person sipping one of those trendy electrolyte-boosting drinks. They've got the real thing coming out of their backyard spring. The Amish way of collecting and using spring water is the perfect example of their low-tech, high-quality approach to life. It fits seamlessly into their simple, sustainable lifestyle, where they use nature's resources without overcomplicating things. Tapping into a spring isn't just about having access to clean water. It's about staying connected to the land and using the resources around them in a way that's efficient and respectful. And the best part? There's no over-engineering or reliance on complex technology. Just nature at its finest. Number 5. The community pond. In many Amish communities, community ponds or lakes serve as a vital source of drinking water, and they've been a trusted resource for generations. These ponds are often strategically located within farms or neighborhoods, designed to collect rainwater and surface runoff from nearby fields. This practice is a brilliant way to make the most of natural precipitation, while also managing excess water that might otherwise lead to flooding or erosion. In fact, the construction of a community pond is a pretty straightforward process, often involving the digging of a sizable hole to allow it to fill with water over time. Simple tools like shovels and horses are used, keeping things low-tech and environmentally friendly. Once a pond is established, it can hold a substantial amount of water, which becomes invaluable during dry spells when other water sources might be running low. These ponds serve multiple purposes for the Amish. They offer a reliable and consistent source of fresh water for drinking, cooking, and washing. By managing the water properly, Amish families are able to maintain its cleanliness, ensuring that it remains safe to use. These ponds are also incredibly valuable for agriculture. Farmers use the water for irrigating crops and watering livestock, making the pond an essential part of farming life. But the ponds don't just benefit humans. They also play an important role in the local ecosystem. Wild ducks, frogs, and even fish can often be found in these ponds, contributing to the natural biodiversity of the area. There's something genuinely heartwarming about a pond filled with ducks paddling about, children playing nearby, and the sense of calm that comes from spending time in nature. The maintenance of these ponds often brings neighbors together, reinforcing the Amish value of community collaboration. Families come together for pond cleaning days, where they work side by side, scooping out debris and weeds. It's a chance to bond, share stories, and help each other out in a meaningful way. This is more than just about maintaining a water source. It's about supporting each other and growing closer as a community. It's a reminder of the beauty of self-sufficiency and how working together can provide the most significant benefits. In a world where access to clean water can often be a challenge, especially in places without municipal services, these community ponds stand as a testament to the Amish way of life. They show us how we can work with nature, without relying on complicated systems or government oversight, to meet our needs and live harmoniously with the land. And really, who wouldn't love the idea of spending a serene afternoon by the water, listening to the laughter of children, and daydreaming about the next great catch? All right, here's the fun question. Could we adopt some of the Amish's water systems in our own lives? Could you collect rainwater, use sand and charcoal filters, or even team up with your neighbors for communal water projects? Maybe, maybe not. But one thing's for sure. The Amish have cracked the code to living off the grid with minimalism, and there's a lot we can learn from their approach. If we're willing to get a little more resourceful, a little more connected to our communities, and just a little more grounded in nature, who knows? We might end up drinking cleaner water and living more simply, just like the Amish. And it's all about finding balance, right? So, the next time you turn on your tap, take a moment to think about the Amish. Their water might come from a well or a rain barrel, or even a little improvised sand filter. But one thing's certain, it's clean, it's pure, and it's all theirs. Well, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Did you like this video? If you did, please consider liking, dropping a comment, and hitting the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on new uploads.